Good evening. My name is Eli, and welcome to tonight's episode of Relationships Edition. We start in a moment. Welcome to the show. Yes, it's Wednesday. As always, we bring you the relationship edition. As I told you earlier on, my name is Eli coming to you live from the city of Tienen in Belgium. And we have such a topic to discuss tonight. You know, with time, they say whiskey matures when put in the cask. But there are these kind of ladies in the city that we call the Cougars. Rather, people refer them to as Cougars. Why, you will ask me? Probably because they seem to be attracting the forbidden ones. And to help me discuss this and digest why this is happening, I have relationship coach, and she has all the best titles that anybody could give her. Her name is Nyokabi GK Kamau, sipping on her tea. Good evening, Nyokabi. And how are you?
Good evening, Eli. I am fine. Oh, sorry. Is my mic unmuted? So, good evening, everybody. How are you? I am fine, Eli. I'm excellent. Isipokuwa baridi. Unajua Limuru, we have a special temperature of our own. It's extremely cold. So, good evening, everybody. Invite all of your friends, invite everybody, share the link. Let's join in the conversations. Leave your comments in the comment sections. We'll be getting to them, we'll be reading them, we'll be addressing you personally, we'll be answering your questions. And yes, we might even be mentioning the couple you're thinking about right here in this show. So welcome. Eli, what's up, my brother?
The only thing that is up is my brains, because I'm trying to figure out how come Cougars are becoming the most sought after product. Not really, but people in the society. What is so much attractive about them, Nyokabi? Niambie, what is it about Cougars?
Let me tell you, Eli, when we discussed this topic and we agreed this is what we are going to be talking about today, the first thing that I did is to ask the men, what is it about Cougars? What is it with young men with older women? And I wanted to understand. And we looked at it from the perspective of the younger woman with an older man. And now what is becoming the norm, an older woman with a younger man. And I wanted to understand what's happening, because from the way I understand in the society when we are growing up, or the way we understand how relationships are supposed to work, a woman should marry a man who is 10 years older than them, up to a minimum of 5 years older, because of the maturity. Yes, don't give me that look, Eli. Because of the maturity level of men and women, it is said, and this is scientifically proven, Eli, that women mature faster than men. Women grow up quicker than men. In fact, if you look at children, you have a daughter and you have a son, Eli, I know. So you know how fast your daughter picked up a few things and how your son caught up. I'm trying to be polite because I know these children. So you can tell that women mature faster than men. And one of the things that I was struggling with before we can get into why the men are choosing to be with older women, what I was struggling with is that the level of maturity, the ability to converse with this person, to take decisions and not be their mother and not mother them. Because we mother husbands who are older than us with 10 years, we mother them. We are always trying to take care of them like their children. In fact, if you tell a woman, if you go to a bridal shower, the first thing we tell girls who are getting married is your firstborn is your husband. Before you start counting other children that you have to think of your husband as your firstborn. It will help you deal with a lot of things. So, and I was really struggling with understanding the vice versa, the reversed dynamic of relationships. And Eli, I can tell you, the reasons are mind-blowing.
I would want you to I would love for you to blow off my mind with the reasons. But before you do that, and Nyokabi, I really hope that your connection will stay stable as it is, because tonight we have to listen to your very well done studies on why men, rather young men, are looking or sorting after this matured wine. Felix Mpenda Mpenda Manguku Josh says nice, and Kipro Roda, good evening to you, Junior. Bernardicto, good evening. Nelson Nelly Martin says he's following. Junior Benedicto following. Frida Nguku, good evening to you. Great to be here. Of course, we are equally great to have you here. Makomere Gilbert is waiting for you in the comment section, Nyokabi, and he says live and clear. Marine Nambata, good evening, and yes, good greetings to you, Nyokabi. Miss Jane Mugure, as always, locked in, hashtag Heart in Heart. Zena Hussein as Mwambaje huko studioni. I know, Nyokabi, you do not understand that part of language, but I'll translate later on.
Hatuwamba.
Tunawamba.
Hatuwamba. Mwambaje hatuwamba.
Tuambaje, tuamba vyema. Hatuna la kuamba. Hatuna la kuamba. Thank you so much, Zena was saying. Yes. And Frida, of course, confirms that statement and say, true, we mature fast, and that's referring to ladies. Sarah Njonjo, good evening, my darling. How are you doing? Hello, guys. Nyokabi Gk Kamau, looking lovely. Na mimi sijaambiwa kitu. It's all right.
Usijali.
Godi Segero says tumefika. HD Kihara Hara says Allah. Fine. For everybody that just joined the cast, we are discussing Cougar, and we are asking you,
yes,
age, is it just a number, or does it matter when it comes to relationships? And Nyokabi actually laid the ground, says we as men have a tendency of slowed down maturity. On the other hand, ladies mature faster, but now trends are changing. My question is, as you've said, you've discovered most of them. Kindly give me a few as to why they are becoming the hotties and most sought after cookies in the market.
First of all, let's define what is this cougar, because there's somebody who is thinking at a cougar. Who is a cougar? You know, guys, that they are on your Google trying to find out who is a cougar. First of all, a cougar is Halle Berry. Shame on me. Shame on me. Well, that is a perfect example of a cougar. Is an older woman who is attracted to younger men and is always prefers to be in relationships, romantic relationships with younger men. For sexual gain, most of the times it is for sexual gain and companionship, but we all know it's for sexual gain. So they prefer younger men to men of their age or older men to them. So that is who a cougar is, or a cougar woman. Yes. So it's good that we define.
Is there an age? Is there an age bracket that will say when you attain this age and then you converse and have affection from this age bracket, you fall in that bracket of cougars? Okay, give us one.
Of course, there is an age bracket from the ages of 35. If you're a woman who is 35 years going up, and the person you're dating, the boy you're dating or the man you're dating is younger than you from 8 years backwards, then you're classified as a cougar. So in case you didn't know that you've been married to your husband for 10 years and he's younger than you by 8 years, sweetheart, you're a cougar.
Yeah. Now, what do you do with your puppy? How old are you?
18 till I die.
Very good. That is the problem we have in the society. All our ladies are 18. So why do you expect these cougars to be called cougars in the first place?
Because they know a woman who is 35 years carries herself differently. She presents herself differently. We don't behave the same as women who are below 35 years. Unfortunately, the distinction is very clear in how we carry ourselves, the way we present ourselves, what excites us and what doesn't excite us. You know, we are really excited about things, by the way. Women of our age, I mean, easy before to excite, it will take a minute, you know, but a 20-year-old, the minute you say you give her 10,000, she's jumping all over the place and screaming and excited.
How much will you take Nyokabi to jump over?
Your 10,000 ni maziwa. kwa hii nyumba yangu hata imalizi wiki. So
So are
Eli,
you becoming a cougar or
today
are you becoming a university student? Because hao ndio gas huisha kila wakati and the rest.
Today, Eli, we are discussing cougars. We are trying to find out why are older women being attracted to younger men, and the
Or
first
the
reason
opposite,
would be-
actually.
yes, and younger men are also attracted to older women, but those ones are for financial gain. There are people who are they are doing the same thing as slay queens. So we have slay kings who are chasing after older men to sustain them financially. They exchange sexual satisfaction for financial profit or financial exchange. It's a transaction. It's more of a transaction. But a cougar, the relationship is actually real. They are actually really in that relationship. They are in love with each other. That's the difference.
Okabe, do you understand you're contradicting yourself?
I have
The
not
other minute you
contradicted.
told me a cougar is the one that they are in a relationship status, and most of the time there's a sexual benefit that is coming out of it. So are you trying to tell me, Okabe, after they are fallen in love, the sex disappears?
No, Eli, you see, for a romantic relationship to be classified as a romantic relationship, sexual benefits have to be involved. For every relationship there is. But now
In
the
that I
benefits are
agree.
yes, the benefits are different in this kind of a relationship. What I'm saying about co-girls is that they are actually in a real relationship. The way age mates would be in a relationship, the way somebody who is older than me would be in a romantic relationship with, that's exactly what the relationship is real. It's not transactional, like a slay queen with a sponsor or a slay king with a sugar mommy.
Now you've just turned the tables. They've become sugar mummies again. Are they too sweet?
No. Cougars are not sugar mummies. And that's why I want to make the distinction. Because the relationship is not transactional, it is romantic. They are in love with each other. And it's important that people understand this because most people don't understand. They assume that cougars are sugar mummies. They are not. Sugar mummies are the same as sponsors or sugar daddies. The relationship is transactional. Sex in exchange for money.
Okay.
It's the high end of prostitution.
Hii ni
So
prostitution yenye imekuja na aromat.
yes, yenye kona aromat. But when it comes to co-girls are actually in love with a young man. They are physically, emotionally, intellectually attracted to this younger person. They find their fulfillment. Ellie, let me explain it this way. There are different levels of attractions in romantic relationships. All right?
Go ahead.
You can find a person who is intellectually attracted to somebody who is intellectual. They're not really looking for physical beauty. They're not looking for a bust. They're not looking for a big bum bum. They're not looking for a beautiful face. They just want somebody who is intellectually attractive. They can have a conversation with this person and they feel fulfilled. They are attracted to that. They like your brain. They like the way you think, the way you analyze things, the way they get attracted. That is a person who is attracted to people intellectually. And these are the people who you find they get very bored when they start dating a person who isn't able to be compatible intellectually with them. They can't have conversations beyond the normal or the general. They want somebody who they can dive deeper into something, into a topic, and diagonalize it and peel it out and pull it out. So they're intellectually attracted to this person. There's also the second kind of attraction. All these are sexual, by the way. Intellectual is also sexual, for your information. So because there are people who think, oh, I'm intellectually attracted to this person, but you're not sexually attracted to them, they work hand in hand together. So if you're the person who is pulled by intellect, then it's also comes with a sexual attachment to it. Okay, there's a second kind of attraction, which is physical. You're the kind of person who likes a boy who looks a certain way. Maybe you're attracted to a wide chest. You like muscles. You like a six-pack. So you like a tall guy. You like a short guy. You like a hairy chest or a chest that's not hairy. These are the
Okabe, you are seeing too much. That was just, I was
yeah.
confirming if I have the chest of Akina Lumumba and the rest. It's all right. Continue.
Yes. So these are the things. These are physical. For the men, there are women also who like men physically. They look at you physically, they like you, they like the way you're dressed, the way you smell, the shoe you're wearing. These are women who pay attention. Do you have an accessory? Do you have a watch or not? You know, these are the things they look at beyond other things that men think that women look at. There's that physical attraction. They like light-skinned men or dark-skinned men, or men who have a beard, or men who have a clean shave. These are the physical things that they cause attraction to this person. Then you, again, the sexual bit comes into it, right? And then for the women is the same. The physical being the men who like the hourglass shape, akina Verasidika. You know, there are men who like the pair, tuseme hao ni akina nani, the Kikuyus, obviously. Or there are men who like the, you know, the sitting surface area to be being the campus. So you see the physical.
There are men who want to search for iron and diamond. Diamond patikani on the surface, you know that, right? You cannot find diamond on the surface. There are men like that. It's all right. Continue with your thought process before I interrupt you.
Yeah, so these are some of the kinds of attractions that are there. The most common one that people know is the physical attraction. People don't know about the intellect attraction. People don't know about spiritual attraction. There are people who want somebody who's dived into spirituality. There are people who find women worshiping to be so beautiful when they're standing there in the altar and lifting their hands and leading in the song and worshiping. In this case, like, oh my God.
And Jesus himself starts walking in the Garden of Eden. God sends Jesus. That's the time you are doing like this. Father, we declare that you are, and they are seeing Father Abraham walking, asking Sarah.
That is spiritual attraction. Yes, so there are people who are attracted to people who are spiritual. They love that. And that's why you'll find that there are people who are attracted to those things, but they don't realize that they are. There's also other deeper attractions that there are men who love beautiful nails. They look at you, they see your toenails, and you wonder huyo mtu aliangalia toenails saa ngapi na mmekaa kwa matatu.
Kuna makucha, Nyokabi, let me just make that clear. Yes, we are attracted to beautiful nails. There are some nails you look at, you are wondering between this one and pangolin, tofauti ni nani? And I hope Nani can explain to us how pangolins work. They use with it. Anyway, continue.
So those are the different kinds of attractions that are there. So when we talk about a cougar, we are talking about them being attracted to younger men.
Great.
And yes, so what makes them feel, what drives them is that attraction. They find younger men to be more appealing, to be more catching, to be more involving. So they are not attracted to older men. And the same applies to women who marry older men, because they find them to be more attractive to younger men. So they find that kudil na mwanamume younger is tedious for them. So they prefer an older woman. Now those are women who prefer maturity and stability. They would rather have maturity and stability than go on a Subaru to Naivasha cruising.
Let me ask you something. Important facts that you're mentioning here, Nyokabi, but bring me to the understanding. And I know there are a lot of comments that are happening in the comment section. We will come to them. Don't worry, keep them coming and keep sharing the link. But let me ask you this, Nyokabi. You have said younger men are attracted to older ones. These to mummies, to akina nani, inajua akina Bugua and the rest, akina Otieno, whatever works. And then there are these ones who like daddies who are on retirement in the name of they are more responsible. So why are you confusing us? How come nobody wants the younger generation and then in the same time nobody wants the older generation? It's a bit confusing, especially these cougars. Why would one who is a cougar in the first place? How do you even find yourself in that position of being a cougar? Where were you when your age mates were dating? No, I'm just asking. I'm trying to understand.
God forgive you. Well, for me, one of the things that I was struggling with, Eli, especially when I was doing my research on this cougar thing, and you know, I don't normally do my research for these talks, but I needed to do my research to understand these cougars, what's happening to them, what's going on with their mind. Because like I said, women mature faster than men. So you can imagine a mature woman dealing with a younger man in a romantic relationship. It's not easy. You know, it's not an easy thing. But what I realized is the attraction factor plays a very key role, because what you're attracted to is what pulls you closer. If you're attracted to a woman who is physically beautiful, you don't pay attention to other things. The reality comes in later in the relationship when relationship dynamics begin to happen. But at the beginning of the relationship, you simply just focus on what you're attracted to. This person is young. This person is good at that. This person, I can, they give me vibration when it comes to issues of life. So you focus on the good part of the relationship. But as the relationship grows older, then now your eyes begin to open. The blindness begins to lose its darkness and light begins to penetrate somewhere. And that's one of the things I was really struggling with Cougars, because dealing with somebody who is younger than you and being that you're more mature than them is not easy, Eli. It's not an easy task. It's
So
really
fine.
not.
Fair enough. My question that I'm posing to the rest of the audience that are watching tonight as we continue the
Yes.
conversation is,
Yes.
why are these mummies? I don't want to call them that name that you people are calling them, because I'm realizing I might be in that bracket, because Nyokabi, you're looking that age. Your age hapo tunaona ni kama tunachezea hapo hapa kwa hapa. But anyway, having said that, the likes of Wycliffe, if you're watching, why are these mummies becoming the most sought after? Because ile mbio iko Nairobi. Young men are not sleeping. We have seen some recently declaring their love. Unaangalia kijana, unaangalia mama, lakini pia mama ameiva. And you're asking yourself, Nyokabi, allow me to come in a little bit and just try to put things into perspective. Is we understand the normal nature is over time, a lady erodes. I don't want to say they look ugly. Erodes, meaning life has taken a toll on them. Alikuwa akismile kidogo kitambo, kila mtu anafurahia. Saizi akismile, there are few that will find it amusing. But then again, there's this crop of women. There's those ones that speak with the tongues. The tongues they speak in. Shakala baba, shintara baba. Those ones. I think they are the ones the spirit is working on them. They remain beautiful regardless or irregardless of age. Why? Question is why?
Elia,
why are they the most sought after?
Elia, there's something I want to make clear to you, because there's a statement you have made that I know Mikata is just looking at you like, let's talk about the growth and the withering of the flower, because you're talking about the withering of a flower in a woman.
Exactly. And you know where I'm heading. Don't worry. Go ahead.
And I don't want to pass that post, because there's so many women who watch this program, and I want to address it. When a woman gets married or when a woman has a child, their entire being refocuses on their husband and their children. The minute a woman gets married, Ellie, their life takes a 360-degree turnaround and they refocus. They forget about themselves and they focus on their husband. That's why they're always asking the husband, where are you? Why are you not home? What are you doing? They can't sleep. They can't eat until this man comes home. That is why they're always running to the bedroom when the baby is crying. That is why ako meeting kwa ofisi mahali, and they keep on feeling the baby is crying on their breast, because they take a 360-degree turnaround. Hence the difference of the girl you marry and the woman she becomes. A woman is in the process of becoming. And in that span, or in that process of becoming, if she loses who she is, and she does not go on an enlightenment journey of remembering who she is outside of being Mrs., outside of being mom, she's not able to sustain who she was and who she needs to be. I want to greet my friend Mwanamwede. Thank you so much for joining me. She's a radio host. Welcome, and thank you so much for joining me. I hope you share this link on your wall. So what I was saying is that when the woman gets married, a lot changes for them. Their dressing, their eating habits, and you totally forget who Nyokabi is. But what is happening now, Ellie, with the woman that were there before and the woman that is today, the woman that is today, there is a lot of exposure. There's a lot of self-help talks. There are so many coaches like me. There are so many programs out there to help you. There's so much exposure of Hollywood, of women who have 3, 4, 5 children, and they still maintain their body shape. And now the women are asking, hey, Kumba,
they pass and you're asking, who is that? They say, this is Mother Flani.
So it is possible to have a baby and lose the baby fat. It is possible to keep the figure after. It is possible to still be a wife, a mother, and a career woman at the same time. So these are some of the enlightenments that's happening to the woman you're seeing today. For example, the woman you're talking about, she is stunning. But have you seen that she also works out?
I haven't mentioned names, please.
Yes, she works out.
Nyokabi, don't point me anywhere.
No. Me, I have not mentioned names either. If you know, you know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you know, you know. So this person works out. She's working. She has her own life put together. Beyond being a mother, beyond being somebody's wife, she's taking care of herself. So to answer your question of the withering flower, in order for the flower to keep blooming, and I'm speaking to the ladies, you have to take a step back and begin to water yourself. And there's something I always talk about a lot, Eli, and this is important that we highlight and we discuss it, even though it's a rabbit trail, it's off of our topic. I always say that within this cup, you cannot give me from an empty cup, because what you're doing is that you're draining out of me. And that is what most women are doing, especially women of God, wives of God. You give your children, you give your husband, you give your brother, you give your cousin, you give your caretaker, you give your house girl, you give everybody in your life, but you never go back to the tap to refill the cup. You have to water the flower in order to maintain the beauty. You do not, and you don't water the flower with stresses of children, with stresses of your husband. You water the flower by eating healthy. You water the flower by taking care of your hormones. You water the flowers by working out. You water the flowers by doing things that interest you and make you happy outside of your spouse and your children, so that you maintain who you are. You fulfill the 5 things of life. You fulfill your spirituality. You pay attention to your spirituality. You're in tune with your spirituality. Whatever you believe in, you're in tune with it, and it is grounding you to some level. You are in tune with your dreams and hopes and visions as a woman. And it is okay to have dreams and to have visions. Eli, aki ulinipeleka huku ni wapi? It is okay to have visions and to have dreams, so that you can maintain who you are. When you go to your mother-in-law and anakwambia kula njahe, sijui kunywa uji, sijui supu ya sijui ya nini ni mzuri na wewe, and they're just feeding you and you keep on expanding and expanding. Ask your doctor, is it necessary? You will be surprised that it is not necessary. That weight has nothing to do with the health of the baby.
Nyokabi.
Yes.
For the benefit of us not losing the rabbit that you are now following, I take that as a response to the flower that I was talking about, and why over time we have imagined that women lose not really their values, but their looks and their attractive senses over time. But then again, we are discovering they are becoming the most sought after. I want, as we come back from the break, to plan a starter pack ya Cougar. Starter pack ya Cougar ni gani? And if you know any in the comment section, kindly share with us, because we're coming to the comment sections after this break. And when we do that, we're going to mention the most interesting ones. And of course, the boring ones too. They all matter. Sawa sawa. Meanwhile, let's take a break.
Ulitizama kitanda changu kimejaa kunguni, godoro inchi 2, ukasema wanipenda. Simu yangu masekete, nguo zangu matambara, viatu vilivyochapishwa viraka, ukasema wanipenda kutoka ndani ya roho. Tulipoenda bafuni nawe, sabuni ya kipande, uzini wa gunia, ukasema ujali, fanaka uchoka kwa Mola. Sasa iweje leo hii nasikia fununu toka kwa rafiki zako kuwa wanipa talaka? Sasa iweje leo hii hadithi za kuaminika zaniambia mapenzi haya yamekuchosha? Sasa iweje leo hii naambiwa sema umasikini wangu wewe umekuchosha. Ninachoomba baby, nipende nilivyo. Baby nipende nilivyo. Zawadi ya fanaka hiyo kutoka kwa Mola, mafanikio kutoka kwa Mola. Baby yeah, baby yeah. Ninachoomba mimi nipende nilivyo. Baby nipende nilivyo. Zawadi ya fanaka hiyo kutoka kwa Mola, mafanikio kutoka kwa Mola. Baby, baby yeah, baby yeah. Oh, sipendelei nikikuona watembea miguu wakati wenzio wako kwenye magari ya kifahari. Oh baby, mimi sipendelei. Unapokula sukuma siku 7 za wiki wakati wenzio wanajiburudisha na minofu kwenye mahoteli pia sipendelei. Ninakiri ni uwezo sina, nipende nilivyo. Baby nipende nilivyo. Eshuji zawadi ya fanaka hiyo toka kwa Mola, mafanikio toka kwa Mola. Baby, 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 ninachoomba nipende nilivyo. Baby nipende mimi nilivyo. Zawadi ya fanaka hiyo kutoka kwa Mola, mafanikio toka kwa Mola. Baby, 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 ninachoomba.
Okay, that is Eshuchi Lumumba giving us Nipende Nilivyo, and we are discovering people are clearly loving each other as they are, despite of the age differences. And before we left, we promised you to go to the comment section. Nyokabi Gk Kamau, umekunywa maji?
Bado.
Haya. Nakunywa tu maji tuliimbiwa. Najua maji naongelelea lakini we do not give that water here. Philo says mature women have the wisdom to solve things maturely. Hapo ndio sababu people are sorting out things with the okay, fine. Michael Benjamin says, willing to get one. I'm 30s and able. I don't know what is your ability, but brother, uko ni kazi ya kuchimba migodi. Salama. Such a long time. She says, VTs are VIPs. Kwa wapi? Kuja hapa kwa tent ya blue. Nyokabi is there waiting for you. Akupe chai na maji ya wageni. Okay. Who else is here? Yes, of course, 35. Once you hit 35 and you date 8 and below, I mean, somebody that has an age difference of 8, kurudi huko nyuma, your terms and conditions may change. Okay, we have Mahani who says, leo hakuna blood pressure kama jana. Fuchs, wipes for ni pressure gani mlipea watu jana for that matter? And for those who actually missed out, you can head to YouTube and find out how the things went on the Men's Den. Yes, Trey, welcome to the show. Good to see you here, brother. And we have Hussein. Hussein anakuanga controversial. Wacha tuone leo amesema nini. The problem with my fellow ladies, they don't open up about their age. Imagine unapata mtu wa 40 anashinda amesema I'm 27. Akinanga Nyokabi. Kila mwaka ni 26, 27. Why can't we ladies just accept our age? Because no matter what, ideology itasemwa our true age. Tutaingojea kwa matanga. For now, they are 18.
Yes.
Okay, fine. Yes. Victoria and Ghana, thank you so much. Welcome to the show. Again, we have Frida who says, it's It's mutual. It's mutual relationship, not transactional. Nimechanganywa pia. By the way, unachanganya watu. Hapa ni mutual. Una benefit, una benefit. Hakuna mambo ya pesa hapa. Kuna mambo ya biashara. Nyokabi, guy. End of what? Aki Nyokabi, tulisema ukweli, leo hatusemi sana. Well, unfortunately, that's how it is when you come to the Wednesday edition. Hapa tunacheza kama sisi, ukweli unasemwa. Yes, Joan Guitar, welcome to the show. And who else is here? Again, let's see. Jackson Mtwiri, who says he's following. And marrying a 5-year-old, that's again Zena. A 5-year-older woman or 10 years older man, it's not a problem. Then problem is marrying someone older than your grandmother, grandfather. Hapo iko tabu na iko shida. Matamchi. But before we even digest that, I don't know if there's one in particular you like to respond to.
No.
Nyokabi? Great. No. Thank you so much for your contribution, guys. Let's move to the next segment where Nyokabi, I want to find out where umeitwa Cougar, or wewe unapenda vitu zenye zijakomaa sana, unapenda tu kuchezea hapo chini. What is the starter pack?
I think the beauty about a cougar, if I may say, that is making it so attractive to younger men, and I think the first thing people will think it's financial. Unfortunately, it's not. It's not financial, and that's why I say these people are in love. So it's not transactional. It's not sponsor to slay queen or sponsor to slay king. It's actually it's a real relationship. They are in love. So it's not financial. So the first attraction is not financial. So although it's about the attractions we talked about, either you're physically attracted to this person, there's something that they are meeting for you as a man, and as a woman, there's something that this young man is meeting for you. They either intellectual, or they are physically attractive, or they are vibrant,
Nyokabi,
or if you're a
Nyokabi, you're trying to be very politically correct here, and I'm not going to allow that. From the start and definition of a cougar, we put it out there, and it's defined. Sex is fundamental. So don't say they are going spiritual, mental, they are going, no. There's no intellectuality here.
No. They're also part of the relationship, because also this young man is attracted to this older. When it's a cougar relationship, again, I want to insist, it's a real romantic relationship, Eli.
And number one on the top list is sex. Let's really cut out the chase, Nyokabi. And that's where I want you to come in, because you're a relationship expert. Please explain to me that concept.
Of course, the sex with a younger man is different than sex with an older man.
That is, I want you to tell me why does it stand out so much that you'll find young men will enjoy more having a sexual relationship with older women, and vice versa, young ladies tend to have a greater sexual affinity with the old men. But I don't know how that works, because I know some warriors have been dying on the line of duty. Tumezika wengi sana. But for ladies, it's different. Tell me why.
I think the most common one would be, to answer your question, Eli, and get off this hot pan, it would be that older women know what they want. Generally, older women know what they want and how they want it, where they want it, and how it should be delivered. They have already.
Are you trying to say Akina Victoria and the rest have to take studies from the older women? Is that the reason why in Uganda, for example, we had the Akina Senge who are training young girls on how to do what they do? Is that the purpose? Okay.
Yes. An older woman already knows. Eli, I don't know why you really want to talk about
because that is the fundamental purpose of why in the first place cougars are defined as cougars.
Because it's part of, it's an element. It's a part of the relationship, but it's not the main objective. Stop forcing it.
Anybody with Google, kindly Google to me cougar and let's know what it means. Go ahead, sir. Madam.
Eli, wewe ndio relationship coach ama ni mimi?
Mimi ndio kuuliza maswali, wewe jibu.
Nitaritaya, because it's part of it. It's part of it. What makes an older woman attractive to a younger man? Can we just talk about what makes, first of all, is the fact that the elder woman is independent. Hakuna hiyo clinginess. There is much more, Eli, to just than just a sexual relationship. And I want you to allow us to discuss these things deeper than just it being a sexual relationship.
Yeah.
Eli, don't focus on the sexual bit. because
No,
it's
I'm not
part of it, but
focusing.
it's not
I'm
the
being
main.
very objective, Nyokabi. I'm being very
You're
objective.
not. You're emphasizing it's sex, it's sex, it's sex, it's sex, it's sex.
Well, all work
Oh my-
with no play makes who? A dull boy. Go ahead.
Okay. So, other than sex, Eli, there are other reasons why older men are attractive to younger men. The other one is that older women are more independent because they are busy. They have careers, they have things they are doing, so they are busy doing. They are financially stable, so they're not very clingy and not they're nagging. You put your hand down. They enjoy the intellectual conversations because older women
It's
engage in.
important that I interject. It's important that I interject. Nyokabi just pulled that 35 days or the 35th day of the month thing here. Nyokabi intended to say why younger men are attracted to older women and not younger men attracted to younger men or older men. So that we are clear. Nyokabi endelee.
Kwani nimeconfuse nikasema older women are attracted.
No, younger men are attracted to older men. Hapo inaweza letea watu ngori.
Disclaimer, umeweka disclaimer.
Nimeleta disclaimer, nimejua kitu kwa unasema ni ile tu 35 days of the month ilikuwa imeingia.
So there are other things that attract younger men to co-girls, and there are other things. There's more that a co-girl brings into the relationship than just the financial aspect, and there's more that the young man brings into the relationship than just the sexual bit. But now, just to indulge Lukuyani and to give you the time of your life, younger men are termed to have more stamina. They last longer, they have proper add-ons, unlike older men. Older men struggle with maintaining an ED. So they have a problem with ED, which is a sexual dysfunction. They have a problem with having proper add-ons and staying longer. So the sexual performance cannot be compared to a young man, to answer your question about the sex bit. So it plays part of it. And I want to say something. When a woman gets to the age of 35, to the age of 45 or towards 50, that is when their sexuality is at the highest.
Hapo ndio nilikuwa nataka ufikie na umekuja vizuri venye nilikuwa nataka. Endelea.
Najua uko na mshene sana inakusumbua wewe Eli. So
ni Discovery Channel. Niko hapa kudiscover. Tuendelee.
So their sexuality is at the highest. And if you're dating a man who is older than you by 10 years, at that time, they're not able to perform as you need them to perform. But I want to say something, because I am a relationship coach and I am always talking to couples. It is not always that a younger man performs better in bed to an older man. There are older men who have taken the time to master the art of lovemaking, and they have taken the time to understand women in terms of lovemaking. So they perform better than younger men. Hapitii tu akienda anapita kama analima shamba, anasafisha vizuri, anaprau, anafanya everything that needs to be done. Hence the vice versa or the vice versa introduction. Unaona sasa ndio maana Eli una confuse hawa watu, because sasa hizi nini zako ziko confusing Eli. Hizi maswali zako zinaleta confusion, because if for a cougar there has to be more than just a sexual exchange. It's a real relationship, and I want to emphasize that it's a real relationship. They are in a proper romantic relationship. They are in love with each other. So all the elements of a proper or a healthy relationship, romantic relationship, play very key role in that particular relationship.
Why is it that despite all those things, and you've mentioned that actually a relationship is in existence and it is a very mutually designed relationship, that both parties feel there is that, give and take sort of relationship that we feel to may arrive and we are happy? Why is it that society for a long time has demonized this sort of relationships? Why?
Because it's not normal. It's not termed
Why
as
are you
normal.
telling me it's not normal? Why is it not normal to love a woman despite her age? Just because she's 35 and you are 20
society,
whatever, 26.
Allow me to explain that it's not normal in so many ways, and I want to explain it to you. Number one, culturally, it's not acceptable for the woman, for my son to see my nakedness, because you see, for you to be a cougar, for your son to be, there are women who take people who are the same age as their firstborn children. You see, that is your child who is seeing your nakedness. So the age difference also is playing a key role, which brings a lot of challenges in the society. Number two, we are an African community. We are cultured a certain way. So we have a moral conduct. There's a way that we conduct ourselves as Africans. There's a way we carry ourselves as Africans. Because this Cougar is not an issue in the Western. It's an issue in African communities or in the African continent. So it's an issue where the traditions are different. The values that are instilled in us as we grow up are different. The way we are brought up is different. So these are the things that make it abnormal, and it stops being normal and it stops being unacceptable. And like in the vice versa, where the man dates a person who is younger than their child, and they is still taken to be normal and acceptable because it's the status quo, is what is acceptable, is what some people sat down and they agreed is what is normal. That is why it becomes an issue. And I also want to mention something else. Women are held at higher esteem than men when it comes to sexuality. When it comes to sexuality, if a woman is engaged in sexual behaviors, she's termed as a whore and as a prostitute, even if she's in love with these people. And that's why a woman cannot be married to two men. And a woman cannot have a husband.
There I don't agree.
And a woman cannot have why not? You see, and a woman cannot have stop your rolling your eyes on me, Eli. Why not? And a woman cannot have a husband and a boyfriend. But a man can do that and is acceptable within the society. So these are some of the things that make these relationships challenging, and they carry a lot of stigma and shame to them, because women are held at higher value. Women are expected to carry themselves better when it comes to sexuality. There's a greater responsibility of sexual orientation for women than there is for men. Women are expected to be conservative with their sexuality. You know, women are expected to be in tune with themselves, to be grounded more than men. And that is why you find when a Cougar is with the person they are dating, everybody is shouting at the top of their voice, oh, why is this person dating this person? They are talking. And yet these people are genuinely in love, and they are genuinely in a romantic relationship. And sometimes even the age difference of 8 years is not really much, because rarely can age difference here 8 years mean I have a child, but that means I can have a child who can be 8 years. And that's a big child. That's a person who is sexually oriented already. So these are some of the things. The issue of nakedness, seeing the nakedness of your mother or seeing the nakedness of your auntie.
As long as she didn't give birth to you, she's not your mother. Let's respect that.
African communities, if you're a woman, you're a mother.
Okay.
Everybody who have children who are the same age, all those children are yours. That's the African community.
Hence, I will agree with that. I will agree in your
yes. Hence
then Yokabi, why when then do we start saying we have to deal with this stigma? Because we like it or not, what we encourage at the end of the day is people then who will have relationships that they are not proud of, because of the fact that society has already passed a judgment on it. And if you go truly, I don't believe it should be a problem because you're older than your partner to actually have that relationship. So how do we then make this stigma start being an issue of the past?
And that's why I was insisting when we are having this topic, Eli, is to create the awareness and to educate people, to stop assuming that a relationship with a Cougar is sponsorship or it's sugar mommy situation. Some of those relationships are not that. They are actually valid, to tell that difference of a transactional relationship and actually a real relationship, so that people can even be sensitive when they're dealing with these people. Because if you assume that this person is chali akona udem because akona pesa, or amemlipia nyumba runda, or anaendesha gari ya huyu chali, anaendesha gari ya huyu mama, you assume it is financial gain only, then you're ignorant. You're refusing to open your eyes to the society we are living in. Things are changing. The world is changing. We are more.
Do you believe those kind of people, Nyokabi, sorry to cut you short, are like the type of, let's say, Jared, who will say this is nonsense to them because they believe society has designed a way in which issues should be discussed? And what could you tell somebody like Jared who find issues of relationship between people that have age differences nonsense?
For me, that is ignorance. I'm sorry, that is ignorance, and that's the ignorance we are trying to deal with. We are trying to open people to understanding things, because you can stigmatize your sister, your mother, your brother, because you're operating on an ignorance level. You're refusing to learn. You're refusing to adapt to the world that is evolving. Change is inevitable. And we are at a place where the world is exposed to different things. And people are no longer ashamed. Women of 35 years to 50 years are no longer ashamed to date younger men. They no longer even feel the need to hide. I don't know whether Eli umetokelezea kwa hizi club ukapata, or you've gone to they are not even hiding anymore. So
I
and we are
just go
not
to
saying
church. I only go to church club. Miss Jayenda. Me nenda mbinguni straight.
and we are not trying to normalize the vice. We are not trying to normalize the vice. What we are saying is this: some of these relationships are actually genuine relationships, and these people are actually in love. And we are not putting away, and we are not being ignorant to the fact that some are transactional, especially for those young men who don't want to work. They don't want to do anything in their lives, but they want to drive big cars, live in big houses in posh estates, and they don't want to do, they just want to sit around getting drunk and posting pictures on Instagram with big cars that they have not earned. That's a different story. But a young man who has a purpose, has a vision, has somewhere they are going, and they are working hard, and they're in a relationship with an older woman who is also doing the same, and you can see both, all elements of the relationship are coming into play, then that's a relationship that I feel that should be respected and should be taken as a relationship. And that's why I was really fighting the sexual bit.
Interesting, Yokabi, that you mentioned that. And it
Yes.
brings me to an earlier statement that one of the viewers put out. And he
Yes.
said he finds it interesting because older women are more mature and will handle issues in a mature way when they are out.
Yes.
So this begs the question, Yokabi, if by any chance we were to have healthy relationships with age differences being put into factor rather, how then will you ensure that you are not putting yourself in a trap that will end with premium tears? As a woman that is probably, you are a career woman, and thanks to your career and pursuing of your so many degrees, you realize there's a gap that you missed, and finally you want to go back to the dating scene. How then do you start choosing your suitor, even if the age difference is in place? How do you start over?
How you start when you want to go into the dating scene, whatever age bracket you're at, if you want to go to the dating scene, the first thing is to know who you are as an individual. Because once you know who you are, then you'll know what you'll be attracted to. Because opposites attract. You can never attract who you are. And it's not easy to be in a relationship with somebody who fully agrees with who you are. You need the opposite for the relationship to make sense and to be vibrant and to be lively and to have the spark in the relationship. So the first step, if you're getting into the dating scene, is to reflect back at yourself. Look at yourself in the mirror and see, who am I? What do I want? What am I looking for? And that's the distinction between an older woman and a younger woman. An older woman already knows what she wants and what she doesn't want, what she's willing to take and what she's not willing to take, what works for her and what doesn't work for her. With the younger women, they're just trying. They only know, oh, me, I like tall, dark, and handsome, and he has to be driving a BMW. You don't even know whether that BMW is on loan. You don't even know whether the BMW ni ya kazini yake ama ni ya baba yake. All you care about is, oh my God, he has to be driving a BMW and he has to like send me 1G every week. That's what is important to you as a young girl. But as an older woman, you already know what you want in that relationship, the components that work for you. But you cannot be able to know what you want in the other person unless you know yourself. So you know what are your love languages. And that's what makes it easier to date an older woman. They know what makes them feel loved and they'll tell you. Spend quality time together with me. Give me acts of service. Do this and that, and I will be happy. They are less dramatic. Instead of throwing a tantrum, an older woman will tell you, I wasn't happy because you did not show up and we had agreed to meet. Why didn't you show up? The mature conversations, and like a younger woman who will just throw a tantrum. So you decided to ignore me all day. So what were you doing? Yani, I wasn't important to you, my friend. There are other things to do other than call you and text you the whole day. That's the distinction. So if you're going into the dating scene, right, the older woman needs to know what they want, what they are looking for. And Ellie, just to put this one, to throw the spanner in the works. And that is why you're finding that most men are preferring to date married women than single girls in the campuses. You're finding that men are chasing married women for extramarital affairs. Yes. they are chasing or married women than they are chasing single people, because a married woman eventually ataenda kwake akimaliza whatever she's finishing, she'll go back to her house. So those complications that come, the tug and pull and the emotional turmoils, they get dealt with by dealing with an older person. So once you know who you are and you're going to the dating seat, then you know what you're looking for. Do not compromise on what you're looking for. Don't negotiate. The mistake that people make is compromising and negotiating. Oh, I wanted a person who talks quietly, and then you get a loud person. And then you'll be sitting there 2 years, 3 years, and you're thinking, Sasa, why do you talk so loudly? You're the one who compromised. You should have stuck to your voice and said, you know what? I want a quiet person, until you found a quiet person. You say, I want a beautiful person. When I look at them, they are beautiful. And discuss those things with your partner. Like now, for example, Eli, I am not allowed to be bigger than I am right now. The minute I start looking like my jeans is becoming tight kidogo, nasikia nimeulizwa, kwa nini nini unaendelea? We have a deal. Yes, we have an agreement.
We
Yes.
have an agreement.
What's going on? Unasikia kabesi uko chini.
Kwani uliongeza sufuria ugali?
Tukimbia asubuhi ama, you know, you start getting, because when you're dealing with, when you know what you want, then the other person knows what you want, then you're able to meet each other's need and you're able to work and to build a very healthy relationship regardless of the age the other person is at. Eli.
Great, Nyokabi. Nyokabi, as we conclude,
you can easily change Akinora. I love you.
Nyokabi,
yes.
I need you to speak to another crop of ladies that have found themselves in position and they feel probably low self-esteem, or they feel they have been judged. And these are ladies that probably have children with men that are younger than them and most likely not actually married to them.
Yes.
What would you tell such a woman? Should she just walk ashamed throughout her life, or be happy that she made the choice to keep the baby?
But why are you ashamed? This is the question I always ask. Why are you ashamed? Ask yourself, why are you ashamed? When you are doing what you did, you felt it was the right thing to do. Stand by it. I always say that mistakes are what makes us who we are. Without the history of where I have come from, Eli, I would not be the person I am today. The good and the bad, the ugly and the beautiful, the ups and downs are what makes Nyokabi who she is. If I am ashamed of the elements that have played part into who I am, then what does that mean? It lowers the value that I'm capable of bringing into this life and into my own life. You cannot be ashamed of the decisions you made. You are younger. You should have done. There's a scripture in the Bible that says, Eli, when I was a child, I behaved like a child. But now that I have grown up, Eli, I behave like a grown up. Why are you ashamed? Yes, why are you ashamed of being the girl that you were? Being as young as it is a season, it is a period, you have moved past it. Own it and lift your head up high. Do you know there are women who regret not having children when they are younger? There are women who focused on careers and focused on building a big name, and now they are going to the dating seat in their late 50s and their late 60s. And these are the Cougars we are talking about.
And unfortunately, their mates are no longer available. And if they are available, they are married.
They are widows. And if they are available, if they are married, then they are widows. You don't want to be with somebody who comes with the package of bibi yake alikuwa anafanya, bibi yake alikuwa anapika, bibi yake alikuwa anafanya curtains. You don't want to deal with all those issues. So whatever stage in life you have gone through, however muddy it was, whether you jumped into the middle of the river and you started jumping on the mud and you threw mud all over your life, you did all kinds of things. But now you have cleaned up and you have crossed over the other side. That mud you are jumping on is what has molded you into who you are. The responsible person you are. Having that child taught you responsibility. It taught you love like you have never known before, because there's nothing as powerful as the love of a child. It has even let you know that you're capable of having a child and raising one as a child. So some of these challenges that we face as women, that we use them to bring us down, that I made a mistake, I met this guy, oh, pa, this happened. Yes, but of course, that is life. Accept it, Forgive yourself, forgive the other person, and own it. Let it be part of your history. Let it be part of your history. But rewrite it. Go and write a new chapter. Write a new Akimia. Eli, I really feel so sad when I hear a woman saying at you, oh, they're even ashamed of telling the person they're dating they have a child. Why are you ashamed? When you are a virgin. Are you Virgin Mary? You're not. So even those ones who don't have children and they're getting married to men, them they are getting married as virgin. They're very holy and very clean, just because they have not product to show. You should be proud of that decision and tell them, hey, I have a child. I have a daughter. This daughter is this age. The person who we had the child with, the relationship did not work. Let them know the status. It is a toxic relationship. This is going to be messy. Are you ready for it? Or the person is mature. We are co-parenting and you are working things out properly. So are you ready for it? Own your, hey, own me. I love my mistakes. Aki, I love my mistakes.
Yeah, Nyokabe, I know you you did that thing. You forgot you. Ladies and gentlemen, time is always one of the biggest resources that none of us has enough, but we can always have much to talk about. My name is Likuyani Eli, and in case you missed this cast, you can always rewatch, share the link, and be able to invite others of like-mindedness. So on Friday, we have a great show coming up, and this show will be the first time it's appearing on our sets, and it will be happening every single first Friday of the month. You know what is coming up? We call it Exalted, a moment of worship. Why not have a great worship session every single first Friday of the month with Art in Heart? So I invite you to join us from 9:30 p.m. East African time on Friday, and that is 8:30 p.m. East Central European time, right here on Art in Heart, live on Facebook and YouTube. The handle is The Arts in Heart, being brought to you by Victoria Nkatha, Eli Likuyani, and Pastor Kevin Tindi. See you then, and I hope you're gonna enjoy the rest of the evening. But before I log out, let me just bring this up, Nyokabi. There is Zena who said, I think everyone should be allowed to date or marry his or her age of choice of a person. Let's not put stigma on people. Nyokabi, do you know that there are these people that will be, inspecting you all over and stigmatize you? Most of them husumbuliwa na wivu. They are very jealous of your success. And they will say the words, yule amefuata hela. You're just only but after money.
Yeah.
Money can buy you everything else except happiness. But in case it buys you that, remember, it's only but a borrowed timeline. See you on Friday. And Nyokabi, thank you so much for coming on live. Remember, you can always reach out to Nyokabi GK Kamau on the following contacts. That is Nyokabi GK Kamau on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn, +254 780 810 987. Drop her a call, have a conversation, and let's have a great conversation going on as we move forward. Remember, age might mean something to you, but to others, it's just but a number. Feel free to love who you love. My name is Likuyani Eli, and that's Nyokabi GK Kamau. We are out. Nyokabi, tumeenda?
Finally, Eli, kuna mtu hapo amesema ati they don't know why they have started falling in love with this show. After talking a lot of nonsense, finally somebody has fallen in love with the show. To God be the glory.
You're welcome to the family. See you again next week on Relationship Edition. And remember, on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we have shows for you. So be there and see you then. Good night.